Welcome back, guys. So in this video we are going to see how to update the user details. Like if we go into our application, we are going to change our passwords, right? So how that functionality is going to work, we're going to see in this video. So let's go back to our code, and before typing anything in our front end, first we need to connect our backend, right? So let's go to our backend and create another route for this for updating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a router dot post. Why post? Because we are going to submit the details to database, so that's why I'm going to use as a post function. So update, and the function can be update user. This function we are going to create it. So let's get into the controller. Yeah, it throws me error because there is no update user function. So here we are going to need that function created. So const update user equal to, and this is going to be a arrow function, and I need to export this function as well. So update user, and now if I import here, then my error goes off here. So I'm going to import the same file from the same file. So update user. Yeah, so this should work now. Yeah, now we are going to write this function here. First thing, this should be a synchronous function because this is going to delay the database, right? So sometimes it may delay, or we need some values to get this. After that only we need to get to the another next line. So this will be having the request and response objects here. And first we need to get the values from the user, like from the website. So we are going to have this request dot body, and we are going to destructure it to some variable. Let's do that as a update user only. And after that we are going to have that mail, right? Because if we want to change the values in database, uh, each record will be having only unique email id, because a person cannot have a two email ids, or with the same email id he cannot have a two accounts. So that's why we are going to deal with a unique value. So unique value will be here, either id or a email. So we are going to check in the database, wherever this mail is there, we are going to change that password. So email plays a main role here. So I'm going to create a mail variable also. So in this update user only, we'll be having that mail object. So update user dot email, and the next variable we are going to get is const user, and this will be the await function because we are going to deal it with the database. So user is nothing but it's a database which we have created a token for. So if we check in our models, this is a user model, right? So user nothing but a user model. And now we need to find one. So here in this find one, what it means is we are going to find one record with email. So we are going to write this email. So what it does is, when it finds a one this email, and that will return this record and store it in a user variable. Now we'll check. So now we'll check the condition with the if condition. So first, to update the password, first the user should present, right? So we are going to check that if the user is present, then we are going to await bcrypt dot compare, because we are going to take a current password, right? If you check in our application, we are having current password. So first what we need to do is, first we need to check the whether current password is correct or matching with our values in the database. If that password is correct, then only we are going to let a user store the new password. So first thing we need to compare. So this will be the same thing while we having the login function, right? We have compared the values what user entered to the database values. So we are going to compare update user dot current password. So this will be the variable current password with the user password, user dot password. Yeah. So if this condition is correct, that means if the user is present and his password matches with the database, then we are going to save the new password from the user. So first we are going to, while saving password, we are going to save it in encrypted way, right? So we are going to generate a salt here. So salt await bcrypt dot gen salt, and inside this I'm going to give a salt rounds. So I'll give a 15 salt rounds here. So 15 salt rounds, and then I'm going to generate a hashed password here. So hashed password here await bcrypt dot hash. So this will give us an encrypted one, and the value we need to give is a password which a user enters. So update user dot password with the salt round. So I'm gonna give just salt, so because this is a salt variable which we have generated a salt using bcrypt dot gen salt. So as the hashed password has been created, now what we need to do is we need to check user dot find I find by id and update, because we are going to update, right, the password. So first one will be the user dot id. So with the user id we are going to find that one and we are going to update. And here I'll send a object. First one will be the name. Obviously the name will be same. We are not going to let a user change his name for this tutorial. If you want to change, you can put another function for changing the name of the user. So name, and another one I'll give is email. Email we won't let the user change, because that's a unique main account will be on the email id. If we change that, then whole our encrypted token, all that will be in a big problem. So we no need to change the email. And then this email, and the last one will be the password I need to store. So password in password variable and give this a hashed password. So yeah, and I'll give a error function if we get any error. So I need to handle this also, right? So error function for this, and if there is any error, then return response to the user with a 400 status, and send a message that something went wrong. Something went wrong. And we are going to write a else condition also. So else condition we are going to return, that means if everything is successful, then we are going to return a response with a 200 symbol. So that means correct. So sorry, it's not a return, it should be the status. So status, and here also status 200 status, and I'm going to send a message to the user. First one I'll send a success as a true variable, and second message password updated successfully. Yeah, password updated successfully. So we have handled the both error and all. If the user itself is not there, we need to error, like handle that error also, right? So we are going to give else condition here. So we are going to return the response to the user saying that there's user no user or something went wrong would be the correct response. Something went wrong. Yeah, so our backend is ready. Once we get the correct connection, correct message, we'll go with the front end part. So yeah, it's connected successfully, everything is fine. So in this dashboard we are going to need this update submit button function.